come out and tell about his journey.
Woo!
Just kind of put out there that I'm pretty nervous. I hate public speaking, but I'm going to give it a shot because I think it'll help me out a little bit. So like he said, my name is Alex McMahon. I am an athletic training major. I'm somewhere in between a junior and senior year academically. A junior year athletically, I play on the football team. I am the punter. So just cut straight to the chase. I have cancer. It was my sophomore year here at Mckendree. It was spring of 2011. Had a great 2010 season, and it was in spring lifting, and I just kind of started to feel bad, and just headaches normally, whatever. Went to some doctors, said sinusitis, inflammation, nothing to worry about, give you antibiotics. So just kind of went through that for about 3 or 4 months. It just never seemed right, never really got over it. Started losing weight. I was 185 pounds at the beginning of spring that year. Got down to 145. I decided it's probably not right. It's probably something else is wrong. Ended up getting taken out of school. My parents took me out of school. Went to Barnes University over here in St. Louis, the hospital. Had an MRI of my head. Came back as a tumor. So it was about the size of a lime. I didn't really care. That seemed okay to me because finally I had an answer. Finally there's going to be a plan for me to get over this. So ended up going back to my hometown, see what's going to happen. I ended up going through chemotherapy and radiation for about 3 months, 70, 80 radiation treatments in my head and neck, and about 10 treatments of chemotherapy per week. Not per week, weekly, 10 weeks of chemotherapy. Had my PET scan, came back clear, and I was excited. You know, that maybe I could come back in the spring of 2012, and that was my goal. I always wanted to come back to school, but I was okay with, taking a semester off. I thought, heck, why not? That'd be kind of nice, take a break. So the first 3 months was good. That was fine with me. I actually came down here a couple times from my hometown and watched the football games. And Mckendree actually threw on Alex McMahon Day. It helped me out with medical bills, and they sold these little bands. There's Rotary coverage. Some of you may have some, some of you may not. If you want some, you can always get a hold of me. I think I have some extras. And I tried to finish up my sophomore semester because they gave me incompletes and I just needed to finish the finals. And that week I came back to finish finals. Something didn't seem right again, a little bit of shoulder pain, a little bit of hip pain. And I thought, whatever, we'll just get another PET scan, just see how it goes. So a couple weeks later, come back down to St. Louis, come back to Barnes, get a PET scan, and always optimistic, always been optimistic, what else you have. So get a PET scan, shows up that it's spread to my shoulder, my left shoulder, my left hip, and back of my skull. And I was like, okay, what do we got to do? What do we got to do to get over this, get past this, whatever? I'll do it, whatever you say. And I go into the meeting with the doctor, and my dad asks, when can you play football again? She says, he can't. And I'm like, okay. I always knew that would probably happen, and that was okay with me. But I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to be back with you guys, be back here at Mckendree, and I just want to finish my education. I want to get on with my life. She said, you will never be able to go to school again. And I was like, okay. And my dad said, well, what do you mean? She said, well, do you want to hear this? She was talking to me. And I said, well, this is my life, so just tell me how it is. She said, I give you 9 months to live. And I was like, okay. Didn't really sit with me, and I was angry because she didn't know me. That was a statistic, that was just what they thought, that was what everyone else in my situation, that's what would happen. And I don't really blame her for that, but she just came off to me in the wrong way, and I didn't appreciate it. So I've never gone back to Barnes, and that's okay with me. Went back to my oncologist in Danville, is where I'm from. It's 3 hours about the east side of Illinois. And he told me that, you know, whatever you want to do, we can do. So I had chemotherapy and radiation at the same time. We talked to doctors in Chicago. We got a hold of a doctor in Hong Kong, which my cancer normally affects people of Asian descent. Don't really know how I got it, but okay. And my roommate, his grandma, surprisingly, actually, works at MD Anderson in Orlando, one of the top cancer hospitals in America. And she gets me a set-in with a nasopharyngeal specialist. So between the Hong Kong doctor, my doctor, the doctors in Chicago, and the doctors in Orlando, they all kind of come together and get this plan for me. And I was like, all right, that's fine, let's do it. So between October of 2011 through about April of 2012, I was on what I called bad chemo. This stuff sucked. It was like, every Monday I would go get chemo. Every fourth Monday I would get an extra chemo that just made me horribly nauseous. I was down to about 135 pounds and just looked sickly, barely eating, just trying to get by. And what kind of kept me going, what kept me through was Mckendree. I mean, my roommates would call me. I would have calls from the football coaches. I even had our pastor here. He gave me a call just to see how I was doing. My athletic training teachers called me just to see how I was doing. And whenever I felt bad and I felt up to it, I'd always come here at Mckendree and just, it'd feel better to be back here, be back home. I feel like this is my second home. So in April, my cancer spread again of 2012. And I was like, God, this kind of sucks. And went back to Chicago to see what they said. And they suggested this new type of chemo. It's an older version. It's one of the first chemos to come out, usually for breast cancer. But it's been proven to work, and it's kind of easier. It's an infusion, 5 days. I wear like this little fanny pack. That's why once a month, if you see me around campus, and I'm rocking this sweet little fanny pack, I'm on chemo for a week. And it's actually not too bad. As you can see, I'm still here and, kind of healthy and feel good. So in April of 2012, that's when they gave me that, and I started gaining weight, and I thought maybe I could come back. So I watched the 2012 season of football, and talked to the coaches, and I talked to the athletic training staff, and everyone said, yeah, sure, come back. So we had a coaching change, and luckily enough, Coach Babcock gave me a chance to come in here, and my first semester back was last semester, spring of 2013, and honestly, it was awesome. I loved it. The one thing that I've had the trouble the most to get used to is talking to people again. I was probably 6-7 months on my own. My parents were at work during my treatments, they had to work. I had all my friends were at college and everything, and I've had to relearn how to talk to people. And that sounds kind of weird, but just happened. But I don't know. I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. This school was a godsend for me, because honestly, there's been times that I thought, maybe I just want to quit, just want to give up. And I think that, everything that you guys have done for me, what kind of person would I be if I just gave up? And I want to show people that have terminal illness, and maybe not, a terminal illness, but a lifelong illness. It doesn't matter what you have, as long as you have a good support system and you want to do it. You can always put your mind to it.